everyone. Today, we'll be learning about material design, which is a design language developed by Google back in 2014. According to Google's official introduction to material design, the goal that they had in mind for the concept was to create a visual language that synthesizes classic principles of good design with the innovation and possibility of technology and solution. The idea was to create a single, unified system that would work across multiple platforms. Material design uses grid-based layouts, responsive animations and transitions, padding, and depth effects such as lighting and shadows. It is inspired by real-life materials like paper, ink, and cardboard. Unlike real paper, our digital material can expand and reform intelligently. Material has physical surfaces and edges. Seams and shadows provide more meaning which you can touch. The basic aim was to make user interfaces better and more intuitive. Make the components seem like those in real life by adding shadows, height, depth, and edges. They wanted the design to be responsive, aware, and natural by paying attention to detail. These are two examples on the screen which follow material design, like any common app on your Android phone or the icons for any app like Gmail or the calendar app. Material design is meant to make cross-platform and multi-screen design easier so that users feel at home with the design of the system no matter which device they use it on. For example, I should be able to locate the features and functionalities of Gmail no matter which device I'm using it from, be it my iPad, my phone, or my laptop. Now, we'll talk about the basic principles of material design. The first one is material is the metaphor. The goal is to make the design inspired by tangible real life materials like paper, cardboard, or ink. Tangible is something that we can touch and interact with. The feeling on the screen should be such that it should feel as if we are interacting with real life elements. The surfaces and edges are designed in such a way that it makes us feel close to reality. Light, surface, and movements play a key role in defining this. Realistic lighting shows seams, divides spaces, and indicates moving parts, making it seem lifelike. The next one is bold, graphic, and intentional design. Bold design creates hierarchy, meaning, and focus. Decisions ranging from choosing the right colors to images spanning from edge to edge, large scale typography, and leaving white spaces intentionally help in achieving the goals of material design. The next principle is motion provides meaning. Motion in the world of material design is used to describe spatial relationships, functionality, and intention with beauty and fluidity. But why is motion important? Motion shows how an app is organized and what all it can do. Motion provides meaning and gives continuity for eyes to navigate in the direction in which the designer wants it to. These are some of the components that motions provide. The first one is motion guides focus between views. So, it tells you where the focus lies in which view. So, whenever a motion is occurring in any interface, your eyes tend to go in that direction, and hence the focus is shifted to wherever the designer wants. The next one is motion hints at what will happen if a user completes a gesture. This should be intuitive enough seeing the motion which is taking place. Motion provides hierarchical and spatial relationships between elements, so it makes visible as to which elements are of more importance in a screen and which play a more crucial role than others. Motion provides distraction from what is happening behind the scenes, like so, whenever any backend activity is being performed, there might be some time lag while the processing takes place. To distract the users from this time lag, motions and animations are needed. So, they keep the user distracted while any backend activity is happening. So, how does material move? The material environment draws inspiration from real world forces like gravity and friction. These forces are reflected in the way a user input affects elements on the screen and how elements react to each other. So, a material in motion also has the following characteristics. The motion should be responsive, it should be natural, it should be aware of its surroundings, and it should be intentional. So, material is full of energy, and the design should be quick enough to respond to whatever is happening. So, by what we mean by natural motion is the laws of physics should not be violated. The motion should be natural, like forces in the real world, such as gravity and friction. So, what we mean by motion should be aware is material is aware of its surroundings, including user as well as other material components which are there on any screen around it. So, the other components should also show how the movement of this particular material is taking place, and it should be in synchronization with other materials around it. Motion should be intentional. Material in motion guides focus to the right spot at the right time. The user should be able to focus on the component that is intended by the designer. Now, we would move to the material design website, which is hosted by Google, and I would run you through some examples of good motion and bad motion. So, this is one example of a good motion which is portrayed by Google, and this is a bad example. So observe carefully what is the difference between the two examples. So in the second example, as you can see, there is some time lag as a lot of activities are happening simultaneously. So that should be avoided. The second feature of a good motion is that the motion should be clear. So carefully observe the two interactions which are taking place. So the first one is a good practice, while the one on the right hand is not a good practice. As multiple elements are moving in different directions and they are confusing the user what is going in what direction, and they are crossing each other's paths. So such motions should generally be avoided. And the next one is motion should be cohesive. It means that if there are multiple components on the screen, they should move in synchronization with each other so that they feel related. So these are some examples of good motions. So next we have the style guidelines of material design. Color is the first one. So color in material design is inspired by bold shades paired with muted environments, deep shadows and bright highlights. So so now I would tell you how to use the material design color tool. So you can simply go to the link which is given here on the slide. Once you go to the link, you would be shown an example interface for which you could you could make your color scheme. So you can navigate across different elements as well. Okay, so this is the first entry point of any interface which is there. So first it asks me to pick the primary color. So usually you choose 500s as the primary color. So this is what I take. Next up, I go to the secondary option and choose a secondary color for my screen. So here I am done. So now you could also see how how the selection of your colors would show across different screens. So here are some preset examples, and you could see how your color scheme would look once your app uses it, and how different components would show it. So once you are satisfied with the color selection, you're free to choose whatever you want. So you could read more details about it, whether the colors are legible or not. So it shows you the accessibility options. So once you are satisfied with the color scheme of your app, what you can do is you can go to the export option and say, if I'm developing for Android, click on this. So the colors.xml file would be downloaded, and this can directly be imported into Android Studio, and that color scheme would be used for your app. So this is how you can use the color tool for material design. These are different shades and different guidelines that you have. So usually the 500 series shades are used as the primary colors and for the toolbars. Then the colors with the 700 series They are used in the status bars, and usually the 300 series is used for the secondary information. So next up we have typography. So basically Roboto and Noto are the two standard fonts which are used for Android and Chrome. You can read more about these fonts on the link given below. So next up come icons. Each and every icon in the material design library has been crafted carefully. So each and every icon has gone through a very rigorous cycle of designing before it is actually given out for usage. So, product icon design is inspired by the tactile and physical quality of material. Each icon is cut, folded, and lit as paper would be, but represented by simple graphic elements. The quality of the material is sturdy with clean folds and crisp edges. So, in this example, you could see how how the icon of Gmail has evolved. They have actually taken paper and crafted it into the probable icon that it could be. They have studied the lighting and shadows of it, and then they came up with the final prototype. So material design has a very good collection of icons that you could use. So here's the link given for the icons, and it has a very good search functionality from which you could choose whatever icon you want. So I'll show you how to use and pick icons for your app. So go to material.io/icons, and once you go here you would be able to see different icons which are available. So you have a wide variety of icons that you can use from different categories. So say I'm making a calling app, so I'll just search for icons which depict calls and I will be able to choose them, and then I can simply download them in whatever format I want. Say I want a PNG, and the download would start. You could even choose the color scheme, whether you want it in white or black, and you could choose the size of the icon from here. So this is how you could download whatever icon you want and use it for your design.
Hello. Now that we have seen the basics of material design and the basics of material design paradigm, let's just have a look at some of the real world apps and see how developers use these paradigms and incorporate them in their apps. So let's take the example of Google Play Store, like you can see on the screen. So I'm sure almost every Android user must have used this app at least once. So looking at this app, if I look at the home screen of this, I can see there is a lot of graphic content. There's a lot of bold graphical content. You can see some shadow lines here on this card which says add colors to joy, add colors of joy to holy. You can see some shadowy outline to this box. Now coming to the color scheme, which as Simran said is a very important part of material design, you can see that first it's consistent throughout the app. You can see green on the topmost tab. You can see green here for every icon, green for text. So one thing we see is consistency. Second thing, as far as using the shades of colors is concerned, we saw that the shade corresponding to the number 500 is usually used for primary. So if you look at Google's color shade, we can see that the primary shade, the 500 shade corresponding to green is the one which is exactly being used by Play Store as well. Now moving to a different tab, let's say movies, we see that the color has changed, but again it's consistent throughout. And again, if we want to have a look at the shade of this color, we can see that this corresponds to the 500 shade under red. This is exactly what Google is using as well. So color is consistent, the shades are rightly used, content written on top of any colored element is legible, and a lot of graphical content is there. Another thing is font. So the font used by font or the typography, like Simran said. So font used by Google Play Store is something called as Roboto, Roboto, and this is a font developed by Google. And you can see that this is again consistent throughout the app. Every tab has the same font. Color might change, but font color color of the tab might change, but the font color and the font itself does not change. Now, another very important thing of material design is the way things move around. It should be intuitive. It should be basically, a user should be able to, yeah, he should not have to figure out how the movement is. It should come naturally to a user. So looking at this app, the first thing I can see is the first card which I see. I see a small part of another card. So intuitively, I would try to slide left to see the next card. And that's exactly what I do to see the next card. So the motion is smooth, the motion is intuitive. Again, if I want to scroll down, it's all very smooth, it's all very intuitive. It's basically enhancing the user experience as a whole. So that is another very important thing which we see in which is a very important element of material design, and we see it in almost all apps we use. Another thing which Simran talked about are the icons. So Google has made a lot of icons under the material design category available to the public, and you can see some of these icons as even they're using some of these icons like notification, account, settings. All these can be found at this place. So material.io/icons, you can see probably, yeah, so you can see like the account one, account circle, account box, and probably you can see notifications. Yeah, so yeah, basically all these icons are available here. Okay, so now if you're familiar with Android app development, you must have wanted to use these elements in your app, or you must need to use these fonts and colors in your Android app or an iOS app which you're developing. So let's just quickly see how we can actually incorporate these colors or these fonts in our app. So for this, you're gonna need Android Studio, which is a very famous framework made public by Google, which allows users to build Android apps. So just download Google Play Store from Google's website. I think they have a yeah, so from developer.android.com you can download this and install. It's all pretty, yeah, just download it and install. And once you install, just open Android Studio and just click on go to file, new project. Just give it any name. Let's say I'll just call it HCI Specify the folder, do next. You can specify the minimum Android version your app should be accessible to, so you can set it to anything you want. I'll set it to Lollipop, which is API number 22. Choose the empty activity, do next. Let it be main activity, finish, and Android will then build the app for you. I've already done that, so I'll open that maybe. Yeah, so Android will build the app for you. If it throws any errors, you might probably want to just open. Alright, so first I'll go through the layout on the left. So this contains all the Java code. This is the main activity. So this is the backend of your app. When you go to res folder, you can see a folder called layout. So layout contains how your app looks. So like the name suggests, it's the layout of the app. So my first screen, this is the XML, and you can actually click on the design tab to see how it actually looks. So this is the current look of my screen. It'll just show hello world and the name of the app on the top, and this is the color scheme being used. Alright, so again now, so if your app throws any errors while building, just put this thing in the Gradle app. So this is the Gradle file. Under Gradle scripts, go to build.gradle, open this file, just copy paste this, the error should hopefully go away. Alright, so coming back to the design part of it. Now let's say you want to change the design scheme of the app. Blue is not what you want. So let's say let us choose something from what Google has given us. Yeah, so let's choose this color, let's say. Or let's choose orange for that matter. Yeah, this is orange. So click on export, Android. It will download the color for you. Now what you need to do is place this, it will download an XML file for you. So what you need to do is go to your app. On the left hand side you can see values. Under the res folder you can see values. click on colors.xml. So this colors.xml is a very important file because this defines the theme of the entire app. So any color you specify here as primary will be set as the primary color for the entire app, or for the entire, basically you can control it's for the entire app or the entire tab, but for the current view this will be the final color. So this is a very important file. So just replace this file with, I'll just keep this for, so you can do a reveal in Finder. This actually points you to the folder where it sits, and just replace with the file we downloaded. So this is the file we downloaded. Just to replace it, and click on replace. So now when you go back to the app, you see things have changed. Alright, good. So technically now the app should work with a different color. So let's just see if that works. Oh, also if you notice, the names of the colors were different, so we might have to change that. So it was color primary instead of primary color. So let's just make it color primary, and there was color primary dark, and there was color accent. So color accent basically means it's the text color. Again, this might not be needed if you're using Android 3.0, which is the latest, Android Studio 3.0, which is the latest Android Studio version. My version is a bit old, so probably that's why I have to make these changes. Color accent, so this defines the text color. And let's just see if this runs now. So this is a virtual device. Yeah, so you can see these color changes are reflected in the activity main.xml, which is the layout of my file. Okay, cool. Okay, so the app build, and okay, great. So we changed from color blue for it to be orange. So that's how you change the color scheme of the app. Again, if you did not understand, that's fine, because this is more of the Android side of things. I'll just quickly go through it again. So you had values, so there's a values folder under res. You just download the colors.xml, replace it with the file given here, and just accordingly, whatever your old color.xml had the names, just name it accordingly, and you will see that the color scheme of your app has changed. Alright, so now looking at this, I would probably want to, let's say, next thing which we want to look at is font. So if I go to the XML part of this, I can see that the font is the basic font whichever was built in. So let me try and change the font of this. So to do that, I'll first have to download a font file. So where's my, yeah, so Google has a file. So like I said, Roboto is a font which Google came up with, and let's say I want a thinner version of it, which is a little more elegant to look at. You can actually go to GitHub and download this. So once you get a .tff file, this will download and this will save on your system. You can go back to your app, and under the app you want to create a folder called assets. So basically font is one of the additional assets of the app, hence the name assets. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to reveal this in Finder, and this is my app. Yeah, so this is my app. I'll go in the source, I'll go to main, and this place where you can see Java and res, I'll create a folder called assets. Now this is where you should place your font file, so I've already downloaded it, robotothin.tff. .tff is basically the extension for all the fonts, so just place it in the assets folder, and this should reflect here. So like you can see, there's an assets folder which has been created with your font file. Okay, so far so good. Now we want the text to be written in this view. Text view is basically the element which renders the text hello world like we saw. So I want the hello world which was in Roboto earlier to now be in Roboto thin. So we'll look at how to do that first. Let's just change the text size. So just to make it more legible, I'm setting the text size to be 50 SP. Now I want to change the font to, let's say, Roboto thin. How to do that? So for that, we'll have to go to our main activity, which is the backend. Now, if you do not understand this code, that's fine. This is pre-rendered code by Google, so you do not need to understand it. All you need to do is, this is Java code, so just declare a variable which is private text view and give it any main text view. So this is just the variable name, this is the variable type, and you might want to import this. And here in onCreate, so onCreate is a callback, and this function is called whenever an app is started or whenever an app is created. And when is an app created? Whenever you fire up an app, that's when it creates all the elements. So whatever code is written in this onCreate function will be executed then. So I'll just quickly show you. So what find view by ID does is, I have declared my view here and I want to capture that view in my backend. So this is basically just indicating I'm referring to main activity, which is my only activity as of now. This dot find view by ID and r.id dot so I first need to set the ID as well here. So Android ID, just set whatever ID you want to. This can be anything. I just set it as main underscore TV for main text view. So here you can do r.id.main TV. So this gets the element in the front end to the back end, and now you can actually set the font here. So I've already done it here. So yeah, something like this. So in Android Studio, you cannot set a custom font which you've downloaded from the front end. That's why you need to capture the text view at the back end and do this. So typeface is like the name suggests, it defines how a view looks like. What is the font going to be? So I'm just gonna call it main TV. So declare a typeface object. I do create from asset because I saved it in the assets folder. This dot get assets, this basically gets all the things in the assets folder, and robotothin.tff, which is the file name. So again, if you do not understand the code part of this, that's fine, just copy paste this code, this should work. We're more focused on the design part of things. So I just set the typeface as Roboto, and this should set my font in this field to Roboto thin. So let's just see if that got implemented. We're gonna compile the app. Yeah. Okay, cool. So later previously we saw a thicker hello world, which was Roboto font, and now we've changed it to Roboto thin. And we can see that if I comment out this part of the code, which is actually setting the typeface, and I compile it again, I see that I now have a thicker hello world. So this hopefully gave you an idea of how to build external, or how to get external fonts in your app, and how to change the color scheme of your app, and hopefully will help you design better interfaces. Thank you.